The 5 girls are standing in front of the mirror. One looks nervous, because they're about to challenge the latest craze, the national horror game, Legend. Just yell Candyman's name 5 times in the mirror. He'll appear in the mirror. Kill the players one by one.
Candyman, 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 Candyman.
5 girls just finished shouting. The bathroom door was locked for no reason. Someone ran to the mirror. The next thing you know, there's blood on the floor. The Candyman appeared in the mirror and dragged them all down to hell. Legend has it that the Candyman is surrounded by bees. He has a hook hand. You can kill people in an instant. In dark corners, candy people often appear and disappear. He loves handing out candy to strangers, but they all have sharp blades hidden in them. It can be said that Candyman is in people's hearts. It's always been a demon. The artist Anthony, on the other hand, based his work on candy, introduced his own horoscope at the exhibition. Say his name. To add mystery, he hid the painting behind a mirror. The work quickly became highly controversial. A couple had an idea while packing up an art exhibition at night. He called Candyman in the mirror 5 times in a row. The result was a terrible tragedy. The Candyman waved his hook hand, coming out of the mirror, cut the girl's neck with one stab. The boy was so frightened that he ran to the exit, but it's being held back by an invisible hand. The boy is dangling in the air by the neck of the Candyman. It was also a single stab wound. Another white critic finished looking at Anthony's painting, make a mockery of him on the spot. A remark about his black man. It's that simple and crude. Una aesthetic. Who knows when he gets home at night, but also curious in the mirror. He called out the Candyman's name. The devil came as expected. The critic was suddenly suspended in the air. The neck was torn and strangled by invisible hands. He pulled a bloody trail right through the window. Anthony saw his work on the news. One death after another. He did not feel fear. The corners of the mouth inadvertently leaked a proud. He didn't even know he was being targeted by the devil. Anthony was stung by a bee. Then his arm began to ulcerate. He took the elevator. I saw in the mirror that the Candyman was smiling at me. He picked up a candy and brushed it away, cut in an instant by the blade hidden inside. What's even more devastating, as soon as Anthony looked in the mirror, the Candyman was reflected in the mirror. They're in perfect sync. And Anthony's festering hand. It's a coincidence that corresponds to the Candyman's hook hand. Anthony began to look around. Information about the Candyman. He found out from a laundromat owner. It turns out that the first Candyman was also a black painter. He was in love with Miss White, committing the greatest sin of his time. Eventually a mob caught him and was subjected to an inhumane torture. They cut off his painting right hand, insert an iron hook into his mangled arm, and he smeared him with honey, watching him get crushed to death by bees. A final fire incinerated the body. The painter died a bitter death. Since then, he has been transformed into a deadly demon and passed down from generation to generation. Anthony felt uneasy after hearing this, but he didn't get up yet when the laundromat owner dragged him into the basement. Anthony just found out he's already covered in hives. Boss Evil told Anthony he has been chosen by the devil, about to be the next Candyman. The boss cut off his right hand with a saw and put the hook in. Anthony felt no pain inside. That's when Anthony's girlfriend suddenly showed up. Seeing her boyfriend hurt, immediately grabbed a sharp weapon and disposed of the laundromat owner. But just as his girlfriend picked Anthony up and tried to escape, a bunch of cops broke in. They didn't say a word, shot and killed Anthony, a black male, on the spot. Then he grabbed his girlfriend into the car. White cops threaten women to do what they're told. Forget about the police shooting people at random, and put the blame squarely on Anthony, calling him a vicious thug. They are the forces of good that destroy evil. The girlfriend was struggling with her hands tied. When justice is not served, he could only decide to surrender himself to the devil. So he looked in the rearview mirror, slowly read out the Candyman's name.
Candyman. Candyman.
What?
Candyman.
What the fuck is that?
Candyman.
Candyman. With a buzzing of bees, Anthony appeared out of thin air as a new generation of Candyman. He ended up killing all the cops, but he also became a product of evil.